Welcome everyone to my channel. Let's discuss about the economy. Please subscribe and let's talk. Like this video and let's begin. Renovation costs are expected to rise by 20–30% by the end of 2025 due to increasing prices for building materials and the ruble currency fluctuations. Items like metal structures, cement, drywall, imported plumbing fixtures and tiles will become more expensive. Despite this, careful planning and combined approach to renovations can help minimize expenses. The primary reason for price increases is higher demand for building materials driven by large-scale construction projects. Price for metal structures, cement and drywall may rise by up to 32%. Currency volatility also plays a role, with importers raising prices to cover risk, particularly affecting plumbing fixtures and specialty materials. Renovations can reduce costs by as much as 40%. However, it's important to assess your skills realistically. Mistakes can lead to additional expenses. Experts recommend purchasing materials in advance during off-season sales and mixing methods to save money. For example, tasks like painting walls and laying laminate flooring can be done independently, while complex jobs are best left to professionals. Opting for modern materials like vinyl wallpaper allows for maintaining quality without breaking the budget. With smart decisions, consumers can cut renovation costs even as prices rise. Early reports highlighted that housing construction in Russia is now more expensive than purchasing a finished dome. The average Russian needs less than 6 years to save for an apartment, while a resident of Moscow requires 11 years and 12 years. These figures come from a study by the Mir Kvartiv website, which analyzed the ratio of average apartment prices to salaries across 85 regions of Russia. According to the study, the average cost of housing in Moscow is currently around 20 million rubles, while the average monthly salary is 141,000 rubles. To afford an apartment, Muscovite would need to save their entire income, spending nothing or on other expenses for 20 years or 12 years. In contrast, the average Russian with an income 82,000 rubles per month would need just 5 years to save up for an apartment in their hometown, where the average property price is 5 million rubles. However, these numbers pale in comparison to regions like Chukotka and the Yamal-Nenetsk Autonomous Okrug, where residents enjoy some of the highest incomes in the country. With average salaries of 162,000 rubles and housing prices around 7 million rubles, residents there would need only 3 years to save for a home. If Moscow statistics seems discouraging, consider Dagestan, where the situation is even more challenging. Apartments in the region cost an average of 7.5 million rubles, but the average salary is only 40,000 rubles, meaning Dagestanis would need 15 years to save for a home. Moscow also fares better than Ingushetia, where saving for an apartment takes 13 years. Sevastopol 13 years, Crimea 13 years and Altai 12 years. Parking spaces in Moscow now cost as much as apartments. Parking spaces in Moscow new residential buildings are now being sold at prices comparable to apartments. Analysts revealed that in November 2024, the average price for a parking space on the primary market in the capital reaches 2.8 million rubles. In business class residential complexes, the price rose even higher, averaging 3.4 million rubles. With this budget, one could buy a one-bedroom apartment in many major Russian cities, including Astrakhan, Vologda, Oryol, Orenburg, Smolensk, or Ijevsk. In Moscow's elite residential complexes, parking spaces are even more expensive, averaging 17.4 million rubles. Analysts note that this amount could buy a one-bedroom apartment anywhere in Russia, even in Moscow itself. According to data from Cyan, parking prices in Moscow have been rising rapidly since the second half of 2021, following the trend in apartment prices. Over the past 3 years, the cost of this type of real estate has increased by 46%. Previously, it was reported that the cheapest apartment on the primary market in Old Moscow can be purchased for 5.3 million rubles, while similar housing in New Moscow costs slightly less than 4.9 million rubles. What do Russians fear the most? Russians revealed their biggest fears, with health issues affecting loved ones topping the list, according to a report by the institute. Among Russians, fear of losing the health or lives of loved ones were the most common, with 55 expressing this concern in spring 2024. Meanwhile, 37% feared for their own health. Financial loss were less of worry. The strongest phobias among citizens are related to terrorism, emergencies, and street dangers, the study states. Interestingly, researchers note that a comparison of survey data from 2008 and 2024 shows a decrease in fear levels over the past 16 years. The number of frequently mentioned sources of dangers has declined, and fewer people now consider these dangers relevant. However, only 16% of Russians said fear nothing as of spring 2024. This means more than 4/5 of citizens regularly or occasionally experiences fear of certain dangers, the authors explained. The study was conducted using a representative nationwide sample in 22 regions of Russia, covering 112 settlements. This includes 2 major cities and regional administrative centers, 35 district centers, 19 urban-type settlements, and 37 villages. What do you think about this? Please subscribe to the channel.